And he's going to share with you some of the systems and how he markets his business, gets customers, and so forth.
Sweet. Okay. So thanks, Andy. I'm excited to speak here. Usually the seminars that I do are like 2 days long, so I gotta keep it 20 minutes. But I love the fact that systems has changed just the way of how my business has been running. And I'll tell you a little bit of my story, so you guys can see what businesses I run and why Progreda has definitely been something that's just changed my life in general. So I'm from Mexico. Anybody here from Mexico? Okay, awesome. Okay. I'm from this place called Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. That's where they make tequila. So if you're ever in doubt what to drink tequila. It's always good. Which is interesting because I'm going to use Progreda. One of my goals is to launch my own tequila brand. So my great grandfather's a tequila maker. My grandfather's a tequila maker. My father's a tequila maker. Wow. And I just drink tequila, right? But I'm going to be using Progreda for that as well. So I'm excited. So I came to this country when I was about 5 years old. And I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't know in what to do, And when I had the opportunity to actually start building a business, I realized that one, I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any, money to get started. I didn't even have the opportunity to actually build a business in America. So what kind of like just got to for me to start building a business, I was introduced to something called network marketing. So, in my experience, I had never done that. The only closest thing to network marketing was my aunt selling like Avon. And that was it. But it was like the only thing I thought that was going to help me build a business. So long story short, I became the number one in the west part region of the company that I'm with. And I grew. I grew my business to internationally. So now I'm traveling to Mexico. Next year I open up Spain, and then I'm going to Japan, which is pretty cool. I never thought, right, that would happen. But I'm so thankful that Progreda came into my life, because now that I'm going to be expanding to different countries, it's like just putting the system, which is impressive. The fact that, for example, I got to start working more with WhatsApp. Because when I go to Mexico, no one texts over there. It's WhatsApp. It's like 99.999% of people use WhatsApp. So yeah, so that's a little bit of my business journey. And then through over 10 years of experience just working with people and having sales, just experience in general, I decided to open up a sales and coaching business. And that kind of just went about because one day somebody said, hey, Bryan, why don't you come over to a mixer? It was at a country club. And why don't you just speak about your experience doing in sales? And I said, sure. And I spoke, and everybody said, wow, that was pretty good. And I was like, really? So they invited me to another one, and they're like, really? So by the third time, I realized that me working with people like one-on-one had just given me so much experience in sales in general that, adopting ideas and concepts from other industries in your own industry was like a disruptive idea, but it worked. So that's what I started doing. And then long story short, I opened up my sales and coaching business. And I grew it to about like 10 businesses. And now I use Progreda. Interesting enough, one of the things I teach when I teach sales and consultations, I teach mindset, of course, but then I also teach systems, technology, right? What technologies are you using? And here's the funny thing. 95% of the businesses that I coach and I teach, they don't have a CRM. They don't. Latino business owners, 99.999% don't have a CRM. That I have like a friend of mine, he owns a construction business or landscaping business. Guy has like 4 trucks, makes a ton of money, and he's still, doing, receipts on paper, right? And so it's interesting, and that's why I think Progreda is just amazing. But anyways, so that's a little bit of my story. So I'll give you an insight of what I had spoke about my network marketing business. So I have thousands of customers, international, mainly in Mexico. Last year I was in, 15 states in Mexico, just training and teaching about our product line. But what was happening was that the more I traveled and the more I was busy training other people, back home, my clients weren't, I wasn't servicing them correctly. So I needed a system where the client felt that, I was caring for them, but also a system where I would take them to a community. That was so big, so big. Because I would tell people, hey, join my Facebook group. They would never do it. They would never do it. So here's what happened. Been using Progreda for about a year and a half or 2 years. This was my my retention rate. Now, here's a little quick insights about network marketing numbers, okay? In the network marketing industry, 9 out of 10 people that join it will fail. It's huge. And here's the 3 reasons why. Okay? Do you guys have any idea why? One reason? One reason? One reason. That's definitely one of them. Yep. Because in network marketing, most products are overpriced. So people, it's not really about prices anymore. It's about service. If you provide a great service, people will buy this product that costs so much, right? So think about someone that joins a network marketing company. They have 0 sales experience. They're not entrepreneurs. So they're just excited. They're like, oh, I'm going to go sell this product. Right? And they go and then boom, nothing happens. So the main thing is retention. So here's an interesting number in network marketing. A high retention rate is 30%. That's very good. Which means people that are selling all these people, let's just say you sell to 100 folks, if 30 of them stay, you're doing good. So I was very good. I had a 79. That was very good. Because I believe in the sales process. In order for you to retain a good customer, the retention starts in the sales process in the beginning, all right? You identify what the client needs, but then what hurts the client the most, right? And it's just the sales process. So I was very good. And then Progreda comes in and then I became fabulous. Wow. That's huge, 92.34%. Look, that's actually in my back office, that's my retention rate. And it's huge. And so here's what I did, okay? So I still do the same sales process that I do with, just in general. But as soon as someone buys my program or my product, I instantly, use Progreda and I use I add them to a funnel, and I add them to this automated messaging service, and I give them a warm welcome, right? There's me, there's Bryan, hey, welcome, purchasing products, and then it's automated messaging, but by the second message, that sends them to the Facebook group, private group, and then once they're in the Facebook, if they're not, then they just keep on getting messages. But then I incentivize them. Hey, by joining this group, you're going to get free stuff and blah, 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 blah. So the more people are doing that, the more I can keep retention. And then here's another cool one. So by the second month, they're getting messages, right? And then I invite them to refer me business, or I invite them to refer me a customer or a client. And something that I noticed that will maintain or just have people refer you business is that if in the first 2 months you make them have an extraordinary experience, it's more, I guess it's more likable that they're going to refer you business. So you have 2 months to make them have an extraordinary experience. And imagine that in the first 2 months, automatically they're receiving about 8 messages. I don't even call, I literally call them on the 4th month. So back in the day, I didn't do that. Back in the day, second day, I'm calling them. Hey, did you receive your package? Hey, did you get it? Hey, are you using it? Now I don't do that. Now it's just hundreds of customers coming in. By the 4th month, I'm actually just courtesy car or whatever. But 4 months. The second thing is faster process to onboard and give a new client a great experience. So why a faster process? For me, traditional sales, right? It just takes so long to educate a customer on how they should use your service or your product, right? So for me, the fact that I can give like the 3 most important points of my product and service immediately gives me just a higher retention. So for me, it's just a faster process. Instead of, I just type in their name, their information, or even Progreda can do it automatically, and then they're on the whole system. And then lastly, like I said, we're in a service game, not a price game. And I realized that people, the first reason why people fail network marketing is because they don't have, sales experience, right? The second one is because no one has a system. They don't. They're just excited, It's like, they're overexcited, but they have nothing to back up that excitement, right? And for me, that was key, because I thought to myself, interesting, that, I spoke to Andy about this. I said, man, I should talk to all these network marketers out there, because they don't. I mean, and even some successful ones, they do not have like having your back office. Most companies have a back office. That is not your CRM. It's just their back office where you can keep track of how many clients are coming in. No, you have to have your own, right? Because the reason why you have to have your own, and I was speaking to Sergio about this last time, it's so important to build your personal brand too, not just the products and services you're selling. So through the CRM, you can do that. So that's just my experience with my network marketing business. Now, remember I told you about the whole consultation and sales business and doing sales conferences? This was amazing. So this is how Andy got to me with Progreda. I was in the kitchen area, and then he's like, hey, how many contacts or how many people know who you are, or how do they keep track of you once you finish a seminar? And I'm like, well, I just tell them, go to Instagram. And then he's like, okay. And how, like, are you sure they actually follow you? And I'm like, well, no. And then he told me, text the word, I don't know what you told me. Text the word.
I got 100 of them.
Yeah, text the word, he said, text the word mindset to this number and watch the magic. And then I text the word mindset, and I was like, holy cow. So I did one for myself, because he helped me. And now when I'm in a conference, I tell people, hey, text the word mindset to this number. So imagine there's 500 people in the room, and then there's 500 people that text the word mindset. So I now have 500 contacts. And then now I can retarget them, right? Because you can use the tabs, and you can retarget them and then do whatever you have to do. And I would never do that. The only people I really made a connection with was when I did a seminar. I would, people, can I take a picture of you? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, here's my Instagram, and that's it. And then people would give me their business cards. And so this was amazing. Now when I go to networking events, do you have a card? Text me. Yeah, it's insane. So this was huge. So now, how did applying this help me triple the assistants per event? So when I would host events, I would get about 50 people, okay? 40, 50 people, and I would actually sit down and call them and email them, do whatever, right? And what I started doing was I started using the sites. There's a feature on Progreda that's called sites. So you can build like a landing page, and in that landing page, you can promote your event, right? So now I would tell people, I'm gonna have an event, put this link, click this link, and get your e-ticket. So then I would actually just do a little e-ticket. So people started registering, right? And I had automated messages so that people can know, first of all, the information on the event. They can show their e-ticket. And even though my event was free and people could just walk in, it's interesting how people would go and they're like, here's my e-ticket. Psychologically, it was like, yeah, I had people like stressed outside the event, like, I haven't gotten the email. Bryan, I need the e-ticket. And I'm like, well, let me check the system. just walk in, dude. I don't care. Yeah, but it psychologically just made so much. I was getting messages. People were actually messaging me on Progreda, like, I did not get the email. I need an e-ticket. So that was huge. So this is what I would do. They would get the e-ticket, and then I would make them wait like 4 days, and then guess what? Boom, reminder. Hey, you got an event coming up in 3 days. And they're like, oh, it's 3 days ahead. Yeah, don't worry about it. Guess what? Boom, reminder. 1 day before, hey, get some good night's sleep. Don't go party. Because usually my events were on Saturday, right? So Friday night, back in the day, people would show up on Friday, like on Saturday morning, all hangover, So we would just go direct from the club to my event. Like, shit. So now, I would send them all these messages. And then here's another thing that helped me. I always incentivize people to go refer my event, right? So the automated messages would sound like, or if you would read them, they would say something like, hey, if I have a special offer. If you bring, because this event costs $99, it's free for you. Special offer, it's going to run only for 3 hours. If you send this link to someone, they're going to get an e-ticket and they'll show up, and boom, all of a sudden I get like 30 more people. So these like little incentives. Long story short, I mean, one of the biggest events I did at the Red Rock. And I had I was expecting 50 people, dude. I had 150 people show up. Wow. I was so excited. I was like, damn, get more chairs. Yeah, coffee ran out like 3 times, so that was pretty cool. So creating the sites, the funnel, and the automated reminders is a huge impact. Why? Any event you do, I think there's 3 components that help an event, just people show up. First of all, is you have to have some sense of urgency, right? So 2, exclusivity, like you're gonna miss out. And then 3, I'm not sure if you say this in English, edificación. How do you say edificación in English? Edify? Yeah. Edifying people, or edifying the people that are going to be in the event is super important. Because the more you edify, it's like promoting, it's like sales. It's like a boxing match, right? They start, doing all these events to promote the main event. That's what I feel that with Progreda's automated messages, every single message is an opportunity to create an event for the event. That is huge. And then the last thing, here's the most important thing. Once I have the list of the people, like let's say 150 people showed up, and they all have a tab, I retarget them for my next event. So all I have to do is like, hey, I have another event, but you need a new e-ticket. Right? So that honestly, just made my life simpler, created image, authority, and in my space. That is huge. I think if you can create authority in your space, people are going to look for you just because people want to be with winners. Isn't it interesting? Like if you're a winner, like I want your product just because you're a winner. It's a sense. It's people just operate like that. So for me, it gave me so much freedom. It gave me so much freedom to actually build other businesses. Back in the day, to get to the level I was, took me years. And now utilizing systems like these, I've helped people do what it took me, I don't know, like 6 years to do. People, now I can help them do it in 4 months, which is insane. It's just crazy. And lastly, okay, so these are the examples of the automations that I use. This is very important for me. Tags, weight, and private communities. So you can see it here. See that tag, once someone enrolls into your automated messages, you can edit what tags, what people like what tag you want on that particular customer, and then here's the 2 messages that they receive: a text message and an email. And then I learned this, and Andy helped me because I used to send text messages and they were like paragraphs, man. I was like a seminar in message, I was typing and shit. And then Andy said, dude, just keep it short, sweet, send them to your email. So then super short on the text messages, and then on an email, that's where I use images, like, very good images. And this is awesome. You can keep people waiting, and you can just decide how much time, and then you send them another message. But this private community, I think for any business in general, just my opinion, having private communities is amazing. Because think about it for a minute, okay? And I'll end with this. Every information you could think about your industry, about your business is already out there. It's already like in YouTube or whatever, right? But it just sounds different when it's private. It just sounds different. Like I can go on my Instagram and say something, and then I can go on my private group and say the same thing, say, guys, it's only for you guys. Oh, yes, it's private. So this is so huge for me, and thanks to the automation, people just actually join my private community. So to end my presentation, I think big opportunities rise from taking advantage of the small opportunities. Mm-hmm. So we all have, a bright future in our businesses, but if you use the right technology, it's in the little things that create a huge impact. For me, going from 70% retention to 94% retention, just on a simple system of automated messages, that's where it's at. So maybe it's one little thing, one little nugget that you're going to get tonight or today that can just 10x your business. So that's pretty much it. So thank you guys, and hope it helps. Yes.
Why 4 days? Is there anything psychological there? Why would make them wait 4 days?
4 days on.
Well, that was just in your little.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So if I have an event, let's say that it's in 2 weeks. I'm assuming that when someone registers, I right away I make them wait for a day, and then they get another message. And then in 4 days, I just think it's just the proper time so they can receive another message. Because you don't want to get them every single day, because then you're just bombarding them and they're going to click the word stop, and then you don't want that. So I just kind of want to, just give them some time. And 4 days has just worked for me. I used to use the 48-hour one, but no, I just let people breathe. And then, oh shit, I have an event with Bryan. They'll remember. So yeah, I use the 4 days. And the e-ticket. Yeah.
Any other questions for Bryan?
I do have a question actually.
Yes.
Did you build those automations?
Yes.
Put them to you, or so you like mapped it out on a notebook and then put it on there, or?
No, so the first one that I started using, it took me a while to learn how to build it. One of the first ones Andy built for me. So I became a master at just cloning that.
So you clone that?
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering about
So
that.
that's key. That's huge. So whenever you have a system already that's put in place with automated, you can clone it and then just edit. So you can have multiple ones. So yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. Just to be clear, so you work for a marketing company, multi-level marketing?
I don't work for them, but I build a client base for them, for a network marketing company.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you use Progreda
Oh yeah,
as your system.
correct.
Tell them how many people are in your downline, if you can.
Yeah, of course. I have 4,000 people.
Is this all in Mexico or here?
No, Mexico, U.S., and I have some in Europe. And hopefully, my goal is to have over 2,000 people in 3 different continents, in each. So that's why I'm going to Spain.
In each,
Yeah. So Spain is interesting, and I'm going to use the exact same thing. So the reason I get so excited about this is because when you show a system like this to anybody, just anybody in network marketing in general, they don't have it, because they just use the company system. Sell the product. In 3 months, you're going to see these results. Great. How about your personal system? Mm-hmm. See, people stay purchasing your product because they really realize that you care about them, that you don't just see them as a number. And if I can have constant contact with them, then that has helped me. So yeah.
Last question, May.
And in your private community, I'm assuming you do video of how you use the product and all.
Also, that's honestly, I get very excited about the private community, because in the private community, once they enroll, they get an automated message as well from Progreda that says, if you share your testimony with your favorite product, you're going to earn your free order next month. So then it's like everybody within themselves, they're posting stuff. So they're adding a whole bunch of testimonials.
Wow.
I don't even touch it anymore. I don't even have to follow up, because now within themselves, oh yes, comadre, compra este. Yeah. And then you got the ladies cleaning, and then the other lady's like, oh my God, how did you do that? And then they start speaking to each other, and I'm like, shit, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Let's give it up for Bryan one more time, y'all.